Hi, my name is Ann McFetridge and I'm with the Promega Corporation. I'm very excited to be talking to Olivia McCarter today. She is one of our student ambassadors at this year's ISHI. Thank you so much, Olivia, for joining me. I know it's a very busy conference. You've got a lot of things to do as a student ambassador, but I really appreciate you taking the time out to talk with me. I insisted to Tara that I wanted to do this because it's kind of one of my favorite things about my job is getting to meet young scientists like yourself. So thank you. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely, absolutely. So tell me, it's your first ISHI. What do you think?
I love it.
Awesome.
I've been making friends and networking the best that I can. I know a lot of the forensic people, and I've talked to them before, but I've never met them in person. So this is just kind of very, very fun for me.
Yeah, cool. I can imagine. So you have a really interesting background, and your story is very interesting in terms of the fact that you already have these established relationships with the crime lab. Can you tell our audience what your work is focused on and what you've been doing?
Sure. I am an investigative genetic genealogist. I started that as soon as I got out of high school, so I was 18 years old. Solved the case a month later after I started. I just haven't stopped. My focus is Alabama and Mississippi cases. I live in Alabama, and my specialty is children.
Okay.
So identifying children and providing a conviction. Because usually with children, their parents are the ones that murder them. So providing a conviction to law enforcement.
That must be really hard, though. I mean, you're young. How do you compartmentalize that, right? Or do you carry it with you after you've solved a case? I think as a mother, I would have a really hard time doing that kind of work.
I do carry all of my cases with me, children or not. I get a tattoo for every case I solve.
Oh my gosh.
So here's some
that's
right
awesome.
here.
Oh, that's beautiful.
So this is one of my baby cases, the Delta Dawn case. She was wearing this on her dress when she died. So I got it on my arm.
Wow, you're absolutely amazing. I'm just so
Thank you.
impressed, and we haven't even dove into the really cool stuff. So investigative genetic genealogy, what was it about you that you're like, that's something I want to do?
Well, I've always been interested in forensics. I've always wanted to be a forensic scientist. And once bigger cases started getting solved that I was interested in, like the Golden State Killer and cases like that, I wanted to help. And I was 17, so in high school, but I really wanted to help. So I started networking and I started reaching out to these people and was like, what can I do? Like, this is what I want to go to college for and I want to help you. And it worked, and this is my career now.
That's awesome. So tell me about your poster. So all of the student ambassadors present a poster as part of their work here at ISHI. So tell me what yours is all about.
Mine is it's my biggest passion. It's the use of genetic genealogy in solving infanticide cases, so children under the age of 1. And I give an example of an infanticide case that I'm working on right now. It's not solved yet, from Jackson County, Mississippi. And I give some statistics of infanticide, and especially in Alabama and Mississippi. So all of the infanticide cases in Alabama and Mississippi are listed on a pie chart.
Wow. That must be heartbreaking to see.
Yeah.
Yes. So you have some news to share, and this will be airing later, but something really cool just happened this week. Can you tell me what's going on?
Yeah, I just signed a deal with the Mobile County Sheriff's Office. I'm going to be starting and heading up a cold case unit with my partner, Detective J.T. Thornton. And we're going to be working on all of Mobile County's cases, and we're also going to be taking on cases from all over Alabama from agencies who don't have the money or the manpower. So we're going to be working all over Alabama. And I've got about 20 cases right off the bat, all over the state. Most are children, because that's just my specialty. And there's a lot of kids cases in Alabama. But we are running with it. We are rocking and rolling.
Awesome. Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
I mean, that's just amazing at such a young age to be given that responsibility. That's a testament to the importance of your work and the success that you've had already at such a young age. So, what is the hardest part of the investigative genetic genealogy work? So, we've got a lot of folks who will be watching this who aren't that familiar with it. So, maybe you can help us with that, but then also, what's the biggest challenge of that part of the work that you do?
It's not the genealogy itself, it's the emotions involved with the cases, because when you're working on unidentified remains cases, they don't have a name, they don't have a family just yet. You become their family. Mm-hmm. So with all of my cases, we are their family, and we give them names, we give them nicknames. We don't call them John or Jane Doe. We give them names to call them, and we love them until we can give them back to their family. And I'm very close with the family members of all of my identified victims, and that's the hardest part, is the emotions involved with our cases.
Mm-hmm. So how many have you identified to date?
2 unidentified remains and 1 unidentified perpetrator.
Okay.
So the perpetrator case was one of the most notorious cases in Canada, the 1984 rape and murder of 9-year-old Christine Jessup. Mm-hmm. And that one had to do with a wrongful conviction. Mm-hmm. So that's why it was so notorious in Canada. And I also identified Harry as a former John Doe from Charleston, Missouri, found drowned in 1979. And then I helped identify an 18-month-old toddler found drowned in Jackson County, Mississippi in 1982.
Okay, and that's the flower?
That's that one. This is Harry.
Okay.
He loved bluebirds.
Okay.
Built birdhouses for them.
Excellent. Wow. I'm sitting here stunned, and there's so many things I want to ask you, and I'm just so impressed
Thank you.
With your dedication and your focus. I mean, I can feel that intensity, your laser focus on this work, and how important it is to you personally to be a part of it. So, so the inspiration to do this and the desire to do this, where did that come from? Was there someone in particular who inspired you, or was it a case? What brought you to the place where you are now?
I didn't know I wanted to do genealogy for the rest of my life until after I solved my first case. Okay. So that was Harry. He was identified in April of 2020. His family knew of his death, but the body was never recovered until we gave them back to them, and they buried him. He had 4 living children, and his wife was still alive. Everybody was still living, 2 brothers. So just hearing how much that meant to his family, how much they loved him, and it really humanized him. He wasn't just a box of bones. Mm-hmm. He was an actual human being with thoughts and feelings. And there's just so many people out there that are still unidentified. There's over 100,000 in the United States alone that are unidentified. And all of them have families. All of them were people just like you and me. They could have been sitting right next to me. Mm-hmm. So that's what really drives me, is giving these people back to their families.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, it's incredibly important work, and I applaud you for taking that on, because it certainly, over time, the emotional toll. Yeah. So please tell me, as a mom, I have to ask, that you are taking care of yourself and that you're able to step away and enjoy things away from this type of work. So how do you relax? How do you separate yourself from the work that you've spent during the day so that it doesn't get too overwhelming for you?
I do take care of myself. My team also makes sure we take care of each other. I'm currently working at Redgrave Research Forensic Services. I'm about to leave to do the cold case unit, but we make it a point to take care of each other. We sit back and watch movies or something over Zoom once a week, or TV shows, and just hang out. Don't talk about forensic work. Don't talk about anything related to genealogy. Just have fun and take care of one another. And they're my family, and they really have grounded me and taken care of me.
Mm-hmm. Well, they must be so incredibly proud of you to be given this opportunity as well. Did they? Have you received any advice from them in terms of starting this next role, and any career advice, any personal advice that any of them have shared with you to help you step into this new gig?
Oh gosh, everyone is. Everyone in the forensic genealogy community is. CC Moore, Margaret Press, everybody's really taking care of me because I'm the youngest.
Awesome. You are.
I am the youngest in the field, I believe. So everybody is very supportive of me. Everybody is being very motherly to me and taking care of me and giving me advice and just supporting me. It's really great to see.
Yes.
And I know I can always rely on them and this field can be so cutthroat. I think every field can be cutthroat, but this is a new field. It's very competitive. But everybody's kind of taking care of me and making sure that I'm protected and don't have to deal with some of these people. And it's really just great to see.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad to hear that because as a mom, I was like, oh my gosh, she's taking on so much, right? I felt this need to mother you, and that's not my
I think all of you guys know CC Moore, right?
We do.
Yeah,
yes.
She's taking great care of me.
Excellent. Well, I imagine
she's making sure I'm all right.
That's great. She is a wonderful person, so I am not surprised to hear that at all. So I want to mix it up a little bit and get to know you a little better, ask you, some questions that give us a little more insight as to who you are. So my first question is, if you had a superpower, what would that superpower be? What would you want it to be?
I want to read minds.
Ooh.
Nobody could ever lie to me.
Yeah.
I think that would be kind of fun, to know what everybody's thinking at all times.
Except to shut that off so it doesn't get to be too much, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, right. To be able to read minds at your will.
At my own will.
Yeah.
It's like a light switch.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's a good one. And I think in your field that would be incredibly helpful, right? As you're interviewing people who are, were perhaps involved.
Yeah,
right?
I'm starting to get more into the investigation stuff. My partner, Corporal Thornton, is he's a homicide investigator. So he keeps me up to date with everything, and we kind of spitball back and forth. So I'm starting to get really into the investigation portion.
Great. It's good to have that in a partner, right?
Absolutely.
Where you can
He's
go
wonderful.
back and forth. So my next question is 3 words that you think describe you or others have perhaps described you with.
I'm definitely crazy. I'm a workaholic, as you can tell. And I'm pretty sure I'm very funny.
Yeah.
I'm very funny.
I can tell that you are. Yes. Yeah, that's good. And I don't think those are bad qualities to have, right? I often joke with my husband that he's driving me nuts, and his funny response is, it's a short drive. So I think there's some joy in being a little crazy and dedicated and focused on your work.
I couldn't do my job unless I was a little bit crazy.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you have to be just a smidge off. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, for your own self-protection, I think, right? Okay, next question. And this one stumped one of the other student ambassadors, so I hope it doesn't stump you, but can you think of a movie quote that you can really relate to?
Okay. I think I would have to say a quote from Peter Pan, since we're Disney.
Yes.
All it takes is a little faith and trust.
Okay, yeah. And so in your work, I imagine that's something that you need, right? You've got to trust the data in front of you. You've got to trust your skills.
You've got to have faith in your team. You've got to have faith in yourself.
Yeah.
It's a lot of trust you're putting in your team to identify this person.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, see? Perfect. Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
I think so. That was really good.
Yeah, it was.
I'm okay with that one.
Yeah, it's a good one. All right, so dream job. If you could do anything, I think I know the answer, but I'll lob the softball your way. Anyways, what is it? If you could be anything at all in the world, what would you What would you be?
I'm doing it.
Okay.
Is that what you think I would say?
Yes.
Yeah,
absolutely.
my dream job is absolutely investigative genetic genealogy. I've wanted to be one genealogist for years now, ever since, I've heard about the Golden State Killer. It's what I wanted to do. I followed the DNA Dope Project in Parabon, was a big fan of theirs for ages, and now we're friends.
Yeah,
so
that's pretty cool.
I think that's pretty cool. And I was just, an 18-year-old kid from a small town in Alabama, and I really wanted to help, and I took those chances myself. I took those risks, and here I am at ISHI 32.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I have to say, there's a colleague of ours who, you say, "Hey Dave, how you doing?" He always says, "Living the dream." I think that should be your answer when people say, "How are you?" Because it sounds to me, based on what you've shared with us today, that is exactly what you are doing.
Absolutely.
So, congratulations to you on all your success, especially the Alabama cold cases. I know that you are going to be continuing to make headlines in the news with the work that you're doing, and I predict that at ISHI 42, Tara will likely be interviewing you, and you will have won some sort of award in the field for leading the way to solve these horrible cases, especially those that are involved with children. I applaud your efforts, and I'm grateful to you for taking that on. The world needs more people like you.
Thank you.